All right, so go ahead, Karen.
Oh, I didn't expect this. I'm Karen Bell. I live in Essex, and I'm excited to start. I have an admin background, and even though I haven't been in the military, I have a very strong military family. A lot of my family is part of the military, and I just excited to work and give back to the community.
Good. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, bring the meeting to order. And the first on the agenda are the minutes. Has everyone read the minutes?
Yes, I had a couple of changes that I already sent to Eileen, but they were just typographical in nature, so I think she's gonna fix them.
A typographical error?
There were a couple, but I've already sent them to Eileen.
Okay,
Linda, let me pull those up just so people know, but I think it was like adding an S to the end of a word or something like that.
okay,
Yeah. In the board members present, there was just a typo in the word chair, and then just adding Ipswich after my name. And then under the first vote was just adding by a roll call. So that was it.
any discussion from the board? Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion from the board?
Yeah, I'll move to accept the minutes of September 15th.
I
Okay.
wasn't there, that's why I can't second.
Who's second?
Doug.
Doug?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
So we still have to do, yeah, we still have to do a roll call.
Okay.
So, because we're partially. So Linda Allison, yes.
Doug does, yes.
Bob James, no, I have not, I haven't even read them, so I'm going to abstain.
Bob Snow, yes. Is that it?
Who else do we have?
I wasn't present.
You were
Sorry, I
present?
can't-
Okay.
I was not present.
Do we have a quorum to
Oh, we have
pass the minutes?
6 representatives.
1, 2, yeah, I guess we don't have a quorum for voting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
understand.
not, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Karen, who is not there is, because I can't see everybody.
Yes,
Um,
Karen. That could not, did that pass or not pass?
no, Bill Flynn?
Right.
Mike
Mike.
Flynn, Mike Flynn. We're missing Mike Flynn tonight, right?
Oh, we're missing Mike? Okay. So you want to table this till the next meeting? I can't hear anybody.
Yes.
They said yes, we'll table it.
Table, okay, very good. Okay, next on the agenda is Speaker Rich Barbados regarding the Global War on Terror Bridge Dedication and Speaker Series. So with that, Rich, are you here with us?
I am, sir. Thanks very much. I'm just kind of off camera here,
Okay,
over the side here. Probably better for everybody. Off camera. So thanks, folks, for your time. I'll keep this quick. So as many of you are already aware, Karen and I initiated work to name the High Street Bridge, the Global War on Terror Memorial Bridge here in Ipswich. This was pushed forward on 29 March to the Senate. The House occurred the same day. There was a hearing on 27 May of the Transportation Committee, and it was referred on 9 July to the Senate Rules Committee, and it's been stuck there since that time. Hopefully there's going to be some movement here. We'll see. I had communication with Senator Tarr's office today, and they're going to circle back with them to kind of see if we can move the ball downfield. So initially, they pushed back on which was surprising to me. It's not really I grew up here, and I lost my train of thought. It's been a long day. And so we're in an effort to kind of provide visibility on the war on terror, recognizing the fact that, you know, a handful of us went fought it, or took part in it in some way, shape, or form. We crafted a speaker series. The first one, our kickoff event was in November. We had my buddy Ryan, that's a Medal of Honor recipient from Afghanistan, came to speak. We were supposed to have a 9/11 family member speak that day as well, but she fell ill and couldn't make it out. This next event that we have is going to be in January, 15 January. My old battalion commander, who commanded my unit, 30325 in the 82nd Airborne, and then he commanded the 2nd Brigade in the 82nd Airborne. He also commanded 375 3rd Ranger Battalion. All told, between those unit assignments, I think he went to war 14 of the 20 years that the war on terror took place. So he kind of knows it firsthand. His wife's going to come up. She'll talk about the home front kind of impact on the families while we were gone. And then we're going to have 2 Gold Star mothers, Christina Ayub and Mary Ellen Callahan. Both of their sons were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. So again, they'll be able to share that lived experience. The last event that we're going to have is going to be in March. I've got some folks coming from VA. As many of you know, I work in Washington in planning and policy in VA central office. But we're going to have some local folks, benefits folks, healthcare, et cetera, kind of there to provide a face and not an 800 number, so that veterans can get connected up with. And more importantly, folks that are touch points for veterans can get information, can get a face-to-face, have questions answered by subject matter experts. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, on Armed Forces Day of 22 in May, we're going to dedicate the bridge. We have the big boss of our organization, SCS level, RCS Chief Officer Mike Fisher is going to be coming up from Washington to speak. More than likely, Ryan will come back. The reason why I asked to get some airtime with you folks is just in helping spread the word about these events. I think we had 14 people show up to hear Ryan speak, which was tremendously disappointing. We're going to go in front of the school board tomorrow evening to try to garner some, get some of the students down to the, we held this at the Performing Arts Center at Essex High School, and we had 1 student show up, which was disappointing, especially after we ran into kids the Friday preceding the Saturday event, and many of the students that we stopped in the hallway had no idea what we were talking about. So we're kind of ratcheting up the communications plan. It's kind of hard with COVID also to kind of get the word out there, but we're doing social media, we're hanging flyers again, trying to spread the word as best as possible. And hopefully we can get the word out there. I'm hopeful about this. And the whole point of the bridge effort, what's the point? Point is that, you know, of the 7,000 folks that we've lost between Iraq and Afghanistan, America's longest war, 200 plus of those folks that paid the ultimate price in defense of our nation were from Essex County, or from Massachusetts, and some of them reside in Essex County. We have Derek Hines that was from Newburyport, that was in the 173rd in Ryan's unit at the same time that Ryan was there. And so it's important that we memorialize that sacrifice, no different than we've done in the past as Americans. And then to acknowledge, not in my estimation, I don't want to be thanked for my service, but just acknowledging that it happened can help Karen and I in the work that we do with veterans in interdicting suicide. We do have veterans taking their lives in the Commonwealth. And something as simple as, hey, we saw you put the uniform on, and we're acknowledging that it happened, makes a difference. When you circumnavigate Essex County and the area, and it's completely devoid of anything, even just acknowledging that the war on terror happened. So that's really all I got. I'm just kind of asking for help and helping us spread the word. And hopefully we can get some folks in there in January. It was disappointing with Ryan, but Ryan will come back. Like I said, he's a buddy of mine. We, mutual friends that we fought with. In the airborne community, it's large, but it's small at the same time. With these Gold Star mothers and my battalion commanders coming up from Virginia, it would be tremendously disappointing if we bring those 2 Gold Star mothers. If we get a handful of people, I'm just going to throw in the towel as far as the speaker series. I don't know what, so that's all I got, and I appreciate the time. I don't know how much oxygen I sucked out of the room here, but I think I ran my mouth enough. But with that, I yield back my time and happy to answer any questions y'all might have.
Oh, I was at,
Rich, thank you for that update. Any questions for Rich?
yeah, so I was at the new series when
Yes, sir.
Ryan was there.
Yes, sir.
We enjoyed it quite a lot.
Yes, sir.
I was, I thought more people would show up,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we're trying to, and again with the youth, I mean, that's, kind of the critical point there, or the kids that are going to be the stewards of whatever we do here, moving forward. And hopefully, I mean, depending on where they go in life, we can hopefully, keep things going. I tried to kind of draw a connection. I don't know where I was talking, but being down at Gettysburg and standing on the ground where, 2 of the names that are on the bronze plaques in the hallway there, where those 2 folks were killed, and kind of the importance of what that sacrifice meant in preserving the United States, and no different than folks that went and met the enemy that attacked us in lower Manhattan and Washington, took the fight to the enemy. Why that's important, what we impart to our kids. So hopefully, we'll be able to do either, we tried to do an essay contest. That was kind of went over like a lead balloon. We tried to do, get some airtime with teachers. We couldn't move the needle on the record at all. There's just no interest. So I don't know. It's a tough time in the country right now to be a veteran. With some of the stuff, not as tough as it was during Vietnam, but it's pretty damn tough right now. So that's all I got. I'll be in Washington next week. It's the first time that we're traveling, so happy to come back and tell you guys what's going on in VA Central Office and all the great.
So the students, are you looking for what, middle school, high school students?
Right, anybody. I mean, we had a whole.
I would think you would want people that can understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I middle school, high school, yeah. I mean, to kind of be able to socialize it a little bit, but I mean, I think there's, what are the lessons learned with Ryan? I mean, it's, selfless service, dedication to duty, honor, integrity. A lot of it, the way we just met we met again with the principal, and we said kind of the driving force here is that Ryan and I aren't trying to recruit anybody in the military. All we're trying to do is help with character development that cultivates civic responsibility in the community. That's all we're trying to impart. We're not even talking about the 9 guys that were killed. Ryan didn't even mention any of the 9 guys that were killed around him at Lenat, or the fact that he held off damn near 300 Taliban by himself, being shot in places and having shrapnel tearing in his legs. And Ryan and I both, I mean, Ryan's got a boy and a girl, I got a boy and a girl. There's other places that we'd rather be. And certainly there's stuff that I don't talk about normally, and neither does he. I mean, with the Medal of Honor, his hands kind of forced. They make him, he feels compelled to talk about stuff that he probably doesn't want to talk about. But we're willing to do it to help provide visibility in a community that, there was some pushback initially when we ran this thing up the flagpole. Some remarks that were made that cut very deep in me by leadership, and again, this was crafted and shaped in response to that, to try to illuminate what that experience was, what it's like to return home now, where it's 0.45% of the population, less than 1%, means that there's at the community level, not everybody is impacted by it anymore. It's not World War II anymore. The victory guards and the scrap drives and the war bonds and the rationing, it's nothing. People don't have to do anything. They don't even know the places where we fought, you know, and where Americans died. You know, like I've said before, if it wasn't for the Vietnam veterans in Ipswich, I wouldn't be here talking to you. They all kind of scooped me up and dusted me off and got me connected up with what I needed. And so, yeah, I think that's enough for me running my mouth. But yeah, I could really appreciate your help in your communities. Anything you could do just to get, we've got copies of the flyer right there if you want to take them with you. And John Castle's
for January.
Yes, sir. Yep, for January. John Cass is the best leader I've ever known in my life. You know, there's and every ranger and paratrooper that ever served under him will tell you the same thing. It tells you what kind of an individual. He was handpicked to command 3rd Ranger Battalion, which is a big deal.
Karen, do you have that in a JPG format?
Yes. Yep.
I think it was just sent to us today, wasn't it?
Correct.
We just ran it up the flagpole today. It went live. So
All
So,
right, well, if I can find it, but if not, just
Yeah.
send it to me. And that way I can put it on my social media.
yep. Yeah, so I just want to say, I also was at the November event, and it was such a worthwhile
Yeah.
event to me to attend, and I was very disappointed in
yeah,
the attendance. But I think you and I had spoken, I think you and I did too, about the timing.
Yeah,
I think that day it was 5 o'clock
It
on
was,
Saturday,
yeah.
so that, you know, I think
Yeah.
that played into.
I know, and it's a tall order. It is.
It is, so, and I think this one's at 4 o'clock.
We bumped it back. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was almost wondering, is there any chance of maybe pushing it back even farther, like to 1 or 2 in the afternoon?
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I don't know if we can pull this thing back as we scatter to the 4 winds, but
Right.
you know, hopefully, I mean, we can, you know, get in there, have folks, you know, share whatever they want to share. My buddy Isaac is probably going to come over. Sergeant Pike from who's a Bronze Star with Valor Device recipient. He saved two squads from one of our platoons that was in an ambush. And so he'll get up on the stage. It'll be the commander, somebody on the front line, and, you know, Mrs. Castles, who was the home front line, at least for our deployment. And so you'll get kind of a 360 perspective of what the war was, what the invasion was like, and and whatever else Colonel Castles can talk about that's not classified. Special operations.
Well, and I'm also upset to hear that there's any pushback on this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but again, I mean, people know what they know, and like I said, I mean, when it's a small percent of folks that are getting smaller, right, that are actually putting the uniform on, you know, it's I don't know, it's hard enough to articulate what the experience is like, you know, and then it's harder when that divide grows, you know, wider. You
I'll
know,
see if I can get more of a veterans community in Georgetown.
Yeah.
I would think that there would have been more veterans there than there were.
yeah, and then you never know about. I mean, it might be also like COVID and everything, and people like afraid to
Yeah.
gather and stuff. You know, we thought we could auditorium can seat like 700 people. We thought like, hey, spread it out. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
good to go. So
But thank you for.
Absolutely.
both of you for pulling this together.
yeah, my pleasure. And one thing I do want to say out loud: War on Terror Memorial Bridge. You know, why did we choose the language? Why that direction? We basically copied the language that was used and pushed forward in bipartisan legislation in DC to erect the War on Terror Memorial on the mall. So when they put that thing up, I think it's going to be adjacent to the Vietnam Memorial. That's the terminology that we copied it, carbon copy, just to keep it,
Mhm.
you know, to not have any
When's that
fireworks.
due to be built?
They're fundraising. I don't know where they're at. I know the person that's in charge of it. I haven't checked in with them for a while. I think they're just still kind of trying to get money together. I know the Desert Storm one is going to be dedicated pretty soon. They did the Native American Veterans Memorial. That's front of the Capitol wall. That end of the wall.
So you're meeting with the Ipswich School Committee tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's tomorrow at 7:20. You want to come?
I will not be there, but I look forward to hearing how it went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I come from a family of educators. I mean, my parents were both Lynn public school teachers, so I was like, essay contest, let's do that. Like, get the kids up on the stage and give them an award or something. And, again, I don't know.
yeah, so we'll just keep trying. So hopefully.
That's all I got.
All right.
Any other questions? No questions? Thanks very much. Thanks for your time.
Rich,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for coming tonight.
Yeah,
and,
my,
speaking before us and giving us that update.
sure, my pleasure. Take care. See ya.
All right. Moving on to agenda number 3, financials. Karen Summit, are you there?
Karen Summit isn't here.
Oh, she's not.
No, did you all get the financials?
Yeah.
I emailed them.
Can you do it, Karen?
Sure.
Okay.
So the profit and loss, so we have, let's see, 17,187. All right, and so looking at the, actual versus budget, I mean, we're right in line with everything where we should be at this point. If you guys have any questions, I can always answer any of those questions. But there's nothing really outstanding to talk about.
I do have one question.
Sure.
Under legal and professional fees, are we moving forward with the audit that we talked about before?
Yes, so we spoke with and I signed the agreement with Jim Powers. I actually emailed him, I think either the end of last week, to ask for an update. And so hopefully I'll be hearing back from him soon. But we've given him everything he needs in order to do the financial review. And Karen provided everything. He has access to QuickBooks, which is the accounting software that we use.
So my question was more the budgeting for that expense.
Mhm.
Where is that on this?
So we haven't paid anything yet, so it will be coming out of that line item.
Okay, because I think that's kind of short for what didn't we approve like up to 2,000?
Yeah, so it might be, so we'll be going over a little bit on that. So
Okay.
I don't know if we're just gonna leave it and show the deficit at the end of the year, or if we should put more money in it now, so that way you'll see it.
Didn't we, like Linda just said, didn't we approve?
You did approve it.
$2,000?
Yep,
Was it 2,000 or 2,500? I think my note said something up to 2,500.
I think so. I don't have that on there.
Yeah, I had up to 2,500 too.
Pardon?
I had
Up to 20.
I had up to 2,500 also. Sorry
Yeah.
for my voice.
So that would be, if it went that high, we'd be short about $900, but there's probably other places where we're not spending what we budgeted, right? So we
Right,
could-
yeah, no, I've always come in under budget, like a lot.
Yeah.
I know,
Or Ken will just have to come in 2 months late.
yeah, I've been without somebody for 6 months, so, we have plenty of money. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have Karen. So yeah,
So everything's right on schedule. Huh?
yes,
And then
Is that
under
it,
the,
Karen?
Linda has one more question.
so under the administrative assistant, that's what we've paid up until now, right? So that's not including Karen's the new Karen.
Correct. She hasn't started yet.
Okay.
She's starting on December
13.
13th,
Okay.
which is perfect because I'm like, do you want to go to training on the 14th?
Right.
So what training do you have to receive?
So DVS is doing a training because right now we're in the middle of recertification. So she's coming at the hardest point of the year. So hopefully that doesn't scare her away. And if she can get through this, she can get through anything. So
So is that like chapter 115
that's
training?
correct.
Okay. Next year, starting July 1st, that line item for Kathy Collins is gonna go away.
That's correct.
All right. They're all my questions.
Okay,
All right,
that it, Karen?
that's it.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the chairman's report, all I have is just, last month, the Veterans Day up in Raleigh, at the Pine Grove School. It was a very moving ceremony. The children were terrific. They came out and they sang, and it was just a great day. The Raleigh Veterans Council is meeting tomorrow night with Bob Breaker as the chairman. And I'm trying to think of, when Rich was here, he just, mentioned something about, we talk about the war on terror, and we talk about Vietnam, and we talk about, touch on World War II. We really should go back and remember some of the veterans from Civil War and their sacrifice. And, let's not forget them, make them come alive and teach and bring these stories of their sacrifice to the young people today, so that the young people especially, know the legacy of the military and what they have contributed to the country. So that's just my thought. I have nothing else on the chairman's report. With that, Karen, you want to discuss the town's becoming a Purple Heart community?
Yes, that's correct. So, I don't know, you guys have probably seen, driving around that some towns have a sign, a road sign that is purple and it says a Purple Heart community. And so that's something that the town has to adopt. And, Bill DeMayo from Newbury had contacted me saying that he wanted to make Newbury, a Purple Heart community. And so I was like, yeah, absolutely. I support you 100%. Let's make it happen. And I want to extend that. And this is the very, very beginning stages. So this is kind of a preview of what's to come down the line. It's not something that I can tackle anytime soon. I'm just happy that, again, that Karen's on board. So that way, some of these things that, had to be put on the back burner. And I want to get her up to speed before moving forward with any new initiatives. And also I wanted to get the Global War on Terror speaker series and bridge dedication finished. So that way I can go on to the next thing, which will be the Purple Heart community. It's something that's done for each town. And I'm hoping to get more community involvement and also have the students involved. Not sure in what capacity yet, but that's something that is going to be, thought of, discussed. I'd like to create a committee. Like Bill DeMayo, he's just, he's a veteran citizen of Newbury, and he wants to spearhead this, which I think is phenomenal. So I would love it if that happened in each of the towns, so that way people are more engaged, more invested. So that when they see the sign, they can feel more of a connection with it. And so the first step in doing that would be to go to the Board of Selectmen in each of the towns and have a proclamation. And so I have the template for the proclamation that would be presented. And then the board of each town would have to vote on it and decide, you know, whether or not to officially, you know, claim that town's a Purple Heart community. And I sent you the,
Karen, can you send that out to each Board of Selectmen on how to do this?
yep, so it's in the link that I sent everyone. Did you-
Okay,
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yep, so take a look at the link, and then I can also answer any questions, but it does do a good job. It's the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and it kind of goes through the steps. And so I have it ready for when we move forward with this. But I just don't want to get ahead of myself. And I also, you know, just wanted to let you guys know, put that feeler out there. And, you know, down the road, we'll take care of it.
So is
now
this
the
a-
original creation of the Purple Heart, Doug, you might know this better than I. It was by George Washington. It was a medal for valor, if I remember correctly. And
Yes.
then it became a medal for being wounded in combat.
It was General Douglas MacArthur. So the Purple Heart is the oldest American military decoration. It was created as the badge of military merit, made of purple cloth in the shape of a heart with the word merit sewn upon it. On 7th, 1782 in Newburgh, New York, by General George Washington, you're correct, then reestablished as the Purple Heart on February 22nd, 1932 by General Douglas MacArthur.
Okay. So it has a long legacy within the military.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And Purple Heart Day is August 7th. So we'll see. I'll figure something out and Karen's gonna help me.
Okay,
Just real quick, just real quickly, Bill reached out to me and he's really done a nice job of this. So I wanted to thank him personally. Also, we had a Veterans Day, last minute Veterans Day, get together at the new World War II Memorial, but we had 50 people there and we had people singing, we had people read poems, and it was really nice. Other than the only good thing was I couldn't talk much.
So is it premature for us to go to our respective select boards and broach this? Want us to wait until you have more information and?
Correct, yep. So if you could wait, I just wanted to get ahead of this since Bill presented at the Newbury Board of Selectmen meeting.
Yeah.
So I didn't want you to hear about it, you know, third hand or, you know, be caught off guard. I don't know if you would be, you know, if something would, one of the towns say something to the other town or whatever, but I just like to make sure that you guys know what's going on in the district and, so yeah. So as of right now, if we can I just wanted to put it out there as a tickler, to let you guys know that it's coming down the pike. But we're not moving forward yet because it's something I want to take time.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe, you know, there's lots of ways we could go and do this, you know, maybe have the students present to the Board of Selectmen. So these are just ideas that I need to work through. And so that was. Nice.
Well, maybe, you know, let them know that there may be an effort underway or so to move toward.
Okay, yeah, if you wanna go ahead and do that, just make sure that they're aware that this isn't gonna be within the next couple of months or whatnot.
Yeah, no. But anybody watching ICAM will know anyways.
Yeah,
It's good
that's
to-
true.
It's good to let our boards know,
Yep,
right?
yep, so let your boards know that this is something that's coming in the future.
Great.
The goal of
Thank you.
I get
completion by August 7th.
Yeah, so, yeah, I always have ideas running through my head now, I have to.
I think it's safe to say within a year or so.
Yeah, oh yeah, within a year, for sure, yep,
Hey, Karen,
yes.
it's one thing I forgot on the chairman's report. The 18th of December is going in Raleigh is Wreaths Across America, and Bob Breaker told me they have 550 wreaths to put on the graves in Raleigh.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And Georgetown is at 100% also.
Yeah,
How many do you have over there, Doug?
Would you say 600?
I
Did you hear him?
haven't
Yeah.
seen the numbers, so nobody yet, because we got two ladies that are working on it. I haven't seen the combined numbers yet.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see it back again and
Oh, yeah.
doing it.
Absolutely. It's such an important thing, and like, I met with, the person who owns Jersey Mike's, and they do a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah,
So, the one up in Newburyport?
Yep,
Okay,
that's a good place.
yeah. And so, they do a lot with donations and, you know, they want to get involved, in the community and stuff. And so when I was meeting with her, we talked about how Wreaths Across America is one of those, events that a lot of people come out to do and a lot of students come out. That's the event that I've seen, you know what I mean, the number of like high school kids, middle school, or even younger, because it's something that they can physically do. You know, they get the wreaths, they bring them to the headstones and stuff like that. And so it's interactive, and it's also, you know, it's meaningful to them, and it's immediate gratification when you look out into the cemetery and you see all these beautiful wreaths. So it's something that, you know, I think they enjoy doing.
yeah, a couple of years ago when Bob Murray, when he was on the board, he's, since, I think you all know that he passed away during the COVID, just in the beginning of the COVID. Bob, myself, we would go out and choose one veteran, and then we went back into the history and how he was killed in action. And a couple of times we put it on the report for the town, in the grave and the wreath, which is kind of a nice way of remembering that veteran. So the one particular veteran we found, Bob's father had escorted the body in 1947 back to town, and that was Bob felt very tied to that young fellow. Lost his life in World War II.
When we had the Vietnam Wall in Newbury, and I did not know my cousin Mike Doyle's story until about an hour before. That's when I read the story, I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It was like, it's like when you follow all the way through, you find things you wish you didn't know sometimes. But we appreciated the sacrifice more than ever.
Thank you, Mike. With that, Karen, is there anything else on the Purple Heart?
So do you want me to do my report? Are you-
Yes, do the director's report.
Okay.
No.
So, one of the things when we were talking about the event, is that Linda received an award and she was recognized, yeah, and everything for her support and advocating for veterans, you know, in the town of Ipswich and also for the district, by being on this board. So it's definitely something that we appreciate, and she's gone to the Board of Selectmen. She went on the, we had a hearing with the Transportation Committee, and so we could give testimony. Me and Rich gave testimony, but Linda took time out of her day to also log in, and she gave testimony to the Transportation Department in order to, you know, support the bill and to try to get it passed, so that way we can make this happen here in Ipswich. So that was really special.
Yes, and thank you again. It came as a complete surprise. I was not expecting that, but thank you. It was quite an honor.
Yeah, well deserved. So some of the things that's going on, I have good news. I passed my chapter 115 recertification test.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yep. So I have to get recertified every 3 years. And as I passed the test, the towns are eligible to receive the full 75% reimbursement from the state for chapter 115.
What's the what would happen if it didn't happen?
Then the town would get 50%.
Well, thank you on that.
Yeah, thank you for passing.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's yeah, took a little, it's not an easy test. It's definitely not a 10 question test.
Yeah.
You know, we have to, you know, they say, all right, when you're ready to take the test, put the note on the door saying do not disturb, and sit down and just, you know, go through it. So, so yeah, so I passed, I got my certificate, and we're good to go. I also was part of a committee that met with Congressman Moulton's new vet rep. And so we were discussing, because Congressman Moulton wants to hear about, you know, what's going on in the VA, what are we seeing in this, you know, in the field and things like that. And so we discussed, me and a handful of VSOs discussed about how the VA and doing claims with the VA is getting harder and taking longer, and, you know, just some of the things that we could do or that they should do to make the process better for our veterans rather than harder. So, you know, he listened, he took notes, so hopefully he takes that back to the congressman, and I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Who was the name of the veterans rep?
Stephen Bohn, B-O-H-N, B-O-H-N, yep, Stephen
Stephen
Bohn,
Bone?
B-O-H-N,
Oh, Bone.
Bohn.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, I just had a thought, the speaker series that's coming up, has the congressman been invited to these? That might be.
Yep, so, so yeah, I think last time he was over in Paris. I don't know that he would attend, but he was invited, and I was told that he was in Paris doing like climate change or something. Yeah, so anyways, but yeah, so hopefully, you know, we get better attendance this time.
I'm sure if he was in the area, that he'd come to the,
I would
those
think so.
things.
I would hope so.
Yeah, so he'll definitely get an invite to the bridge dedication.
But his rep could come.
Right, yep. So. All right, so I just did a bunch of other BSO training. So for Veterans Day, I went to the Raleigh Veterans Dinner, the Ipswich Veterans Lunch. I spoke at the Georgetown Veterans Day ceremony.
You did.
I did, how did I do?
You did well. Someone told me at the beginning, I don't speak in front of crowds. You did well.
Okay, I survived.
You did well.
I did well, okay, all right. And I just attended that Newbury Board of Selectmen meeting with Bill DeMayo. And so today I actually was asked to join, I got tapped to, I got recommended, I guess, would be the way to say it, to the Governor's Advisory Committee on Women Veterans. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I guess it's a state mandate that they have this committee, this advisory committee, and it's an 11-person committee. And they have different criteria that they have to fill, and so they need, one of them is a VSO. So I spoke with the chief of staff for the Department of Veteran Services today, so she wanted me to send over my resume and stuff, but it was a great conversation. So, and it's definitely something that I'd be interested in contributing to and collaborating with other female veterans across the Commonwealth. So hopefully, you know, we move forward with that and start that in January.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I know.
It's an honor.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
Secretary Poppy. So,
Good.
yeah,
Good.
Who was at the November
Yes, she was there too.
event.
yeah, Secretary of Department of Veteran Services, Secretary Poppy, did attend our speaker series event that we had in November. And so, yeah, so that was a great conversation to have today. Other upcoming events, as Rich mentioned, we are going to be presenting at the Ipswich School Committee meeting tomorrow. We're going to be presenting at the Ipswich Board of Selectmen meeting on Monday. I'm having a benefits seminar, the same as I did in Newbury, a benefits seminar in Essex on December 15th. I have VSO training on December 14th, which both Karen and I are going to go to. And then the next speaker event is January 15th. So those are the things that are coming up.
Great. So you'll be at the Ipswich board on Monday.
That's
So
correct.
Usually we do subcommittee updates, so that's when I would have brought up the Purple Heart community information, but if you're gonna be there, maybe you can just kind of throw that out there.
Sure. Or if you want, so that way we can keep it separate, because it has us on for the,
Is it department updates or something?
no, this is, so Rich and I are on the agenda to speak specifically on the speaker series and
Oh,
the
okay.
bridge.
Okay.
So if you want to bring up the Purple Heart for the subcommittee
Updates.
portion, yeah.
Okay.
So that way we'll just keep it separate, so that way, we don't muddy the waters.
Okay. That sounds fine to me.
Okay,
Great.
and I'll be there, so if they have any questions. So yeah, does anybody else have any questions for me?
Just one second, Karen, hold on. I would love to talk to you more about the brown bag program where veterans could bring in all the medications and have some of us old farmers just look over their meds for them, because what I found out in the last 6 months with myself, between mail order and going to the local store to get something right away, it's very confusing, but even a professional. And I'm just saying, I know a bunch of old pharmacists that are retired now, in a couple hours here and a couple hours there, we can go through some bags and maybe just look out for drug interactions, because what the veterans fills, they may not know that CVS fills something. See what I'm saying? Too many people are using too many drugstores. And if we can help them out with their medications, I think it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just a thought, just bouncing it out there,
Okay,
okay?
yes, thank you.
I lost you.
Oh, I said thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Karen, thank you for the director's report. And with that, we come to number 7, and it's for adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I'll second that. Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Oh, we got to do roll call.
Yeah, roll call vote. We have to do roll call.
Aye.
Mike Doyle,
We roll-
yes.
We need 2 more ayes.
Aye, Robert Snow.
Is that Mike Doyle on there?
I
Mike-
said,
Mike
I
said
said
aye.
Mike Doyle, yes. I said yes.
We, we can't hear you too well in the room.
My voice is gone.
Okay.
We all voted yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Everybody
Happy holidays.
enjoy Christmas and the holidays,
Merry
and
Christmas, everyone.
we'll see you next year. So
Yeah.
with that, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.